This video is on student handout 5, adding and subtracting rational numbers 2. We look at our first example. It says Ms. Price presented a problem in which the numbers 1 through 4 are each missing one time. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Use the missing numbers in your understanding of adding fractions to make the equation true. All right, our answer has a denominator of 12, so we definitely know that 3 and 4 go in the denominator because you multiply them together and you get 12. And then you have to figure out whether it's 1/4 or 2/3. We're going to go with 1/4 and 2/3, and then that'll give us the 12 there. So if we do 12 times 3, that's 3. And then 12 here is 4, that's 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that's what we were looking for. All right, adding and subtracting fractions. Find the fractions or mixed numbers can be added and subtracted by following 3 steps. First thing you have to do is find the least common denominator. Of the fractions. And then you would rename the fractions. And then you're going to add or subtract the numerators. And then leave the denominator the same, and then regroup and simplify. Okay? Here in this first one, we have a common denominator, so all we have to do is add across. And 3 plus 4, we get 7/5. That's an improper fraction. So how many 5s are in 7? There's 1 with 2 left over. So your answer is 1 2/5. Here we have a negative 5/6 plus a negative 5/6. That same sign, add and keep. So we have a negative, and 5 plus 5 is 10. And the denominator stays the same. So we've got a negative 10/6. How many 6s are in 10 is 1. How many is left over is 4. 10 minus 6 is 4. And then we have 4/6. But that can be simplified to a negative 1 2/3. Number 3, we also have common denominators. So we've got a negative 3/4 plus a negative 1 3/4. And we same sign, add and keep. So that's going to be a negative 1 6/4, which is an improper fraction. So we're going to have that negative 1, and we're going to add 1 to this. So then that's going to make this negative 2 2/4, which simplifies to a negative 2 1/2. This next one is a subtraction. So change the minus to a plus. Change the sign of next, and all you do is add them up as if it were a plus. Denominators are the same. 4 plus 3 is 7, so we have 7/5, and keep the negative. Improper fraction. 5 goes into 7 one time with 2 left over, so a negative 1 2/5. We have a negative 5/6. Change the minus to a plus. Change the sign of next, and all you do is add them up as if it were a plus. Same sign, add and keep, so we have a negative 8/6. 6 goes into 8 one time with 2 left over, so we've got a negative 1 2/6, and that simplifies to a negative 1 1/3. All right. We've got a negative 2/3. Change the minus to a plus. Change the sign of next. That's a negative 1/3, so that becomes a positive 1/3. And then different sign subtract. 2 minus 1 is 1. And keep the 3. And then the furthest one away is 2/3, so it's absolutely value, so it's negative. So we keep that negative. On the back, we have a negative 1/6 plus 2/3. These denominators are different, so we've got to find common denominators, which 3 and 6 is 6. That stays. 3 goes into 6 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. Different signs subtract. And that's going to be 3 6 because 4 6 is the highest absolute value and it's positive. Negative 5 eighths plus, we're going to find a common denominator, which is 8, and that's a negative. 4 goes into 8 2 times. 2 times 3 is 6. We add those together. Same sign, add and keep. 6 plus 5 is 11. Denominator is 8. That's an improper fraction. How many 8s in 11 is 1, and how many is left over is 3 eighths. Here we have a negative 3 eighths. Change the minus to a plus. Change the sign of next. And the common denominators are 8 for 2 and 8. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 1 times 4 is 4. And we add those together because it's the same sign, which would be a negative 7 eighths. Use your understanding of rational numbers operations to answer the questions below. Number 10. A new monument is being constructed and 3 different proposals are under consideration. How many feet taller is proposal A than proposal C? Proposal A is 15 1/3 minus, because we'll know the difference, 13 5/6. All right, the common denominator between these two would be 6. 3 goes into 6 2 times. 2 times 1 is 2. Minus 13 5/6. Change the minus to a plus. Change the sign of next. Different signs subtract. Well, we can't subtract 5 from 2. So we're going to borrow 1 from the 15. And then add that 6 to the 2, which would make 8, because 6 over 6 is a whole. And now we can subtract. So we can subtract 13 from 14. That gives us 1. And 8 minus 5 is 3 6. So we've got 1 and 3 6. 14 is the largest absolute value, so it stays positive. And we can simplify that to 1 1/2. Number 11. Miss Oliver asked 3 students to place an expression on the number line to represent its solution. So we're looking for the answer. The number line below shows 0 and negative 1/2. Determine where each student should place the solution to their expression. So Judy's is a negative 1/2 plus, change the minus to a plus, a negative 2. When we add those together, we get a negative 3 1/2. So that's 1, 2, 3. So we're going to put Judy's right here. Rico is a negative 1 1/2 plus 4. So we're going to subtract that. And we're going to fix those. And 4 minus 1 1/2 is going to be 2 1/2, because 2 1/2 plus 1 1/2 is 4. So the answer here is 2 1/2. So that'd be 1, 2, and Rico's going to go here. All right, and the last one, a negative 1/2 plus a positive 1/2 is 0. So Cade will go here on those. And the last problem, during the drought, the local lake was 2 1/4 feet below its normal level. 2 weeks later, the water level had dropped an additional 1 3/8 feet. How far below normal level was the water after 2 weeks? You know that 2 1/4 feet below and then it dropped 1 3/8 feet. I need to know how much did the water level change. So if we work that out, we've got a negative 2 1/4 And then we're going to add, because we want to know how far it dropped or how much it changed, which is a -1 and 3/8. The common denominator between 4 and 8 is 8. So I've got -2 and 8. 4 goes into 8 2 times. 2 times 1 is 2, plus a -1 and 3/8 gives me, it dropped -3 and 5/8. So the solution is a -3 and 5/8 feet below its normal level.